Hey guys, welcome to a Cracker Pack episode, I guess, of the Eternal series here at Super Cheap Siblings. I've bought 64 packs of goodness in Eternal, and we're going to open them all up and see what's inside. So hopefully you guys get a little bit of enjoyment out of it. I get a chance to build up my collection, and let's see how we go. All right, ooh, let's go for it. We have some pretty nice stuff here. Now I probably need to go through fairly quickly because we've got lots of packs to open. So this AV saw I've seen him play, it seems to be really impressive whenever it comes down. In combination with stuff like cockroaches, which I've had a look at it as well. It's a really interesting deck. But our general is Zalio. Awesome, I think I've got one of those from the campaign. So let's see if we can pick up some more. Some of the stuff I'm after I think like red, green, and maybe a bit of yellow stuff. I'm terrible with the names still, so I'm getting there. Withering Witch, each enemy's unit. That seems pretty cool. She blocks all of those creatures really well as well. So let's see what else we've got in here. Now, as far as I can tell, for those people who've only just started watching, these are all common cards, I believe, which are the ones that don't have a gem down the bottom. The ones with green down the bottom, these ones here are uncommon. The blue ones are rares. And then we have the yellow ones, which are legendaries. And then there's purple ones, which are promos. I think there's a couple out now. Alright, so when Spire Chaplain attacks, draw a Justice Sigil from your deck. That seems pretty good. Nothing super exciting. The legendaries are really where a lot of these power cards are. I think I did need some of these feathers for an aggro deck. Okay. Awesome. What have we got in here? Deadly and Quick Draw. Seems pretty good, actually. The combination of Deadly and Quick Draw is actually quite strong. Has been in Magic 2 with First Strike and Death Touch as well. This is one card I actually have seen a bit of, the False Prince. Seems really interesting as an early beater and kind of just not caring what your opponent does and make them have to answer it. When he does get targeted by a spell, though, it does turn into a 1/1 frog. So pretty awesome flavor-wise as well. Let's see what we got in here. Explorer Emeritus. Exhaust him to draw a card. A 5 cost, 5 power, 0/1. Not fantastic, but I'm sure in a control deck somewhere, drawing extra cards every turn is always a good thing. Alright, still no legendaries yet. This looks interesting. Mirror Image. Play a copy of one of your units. Again, probably not too bad with things like cockroaches. Although you don't get to draw it for the echo cost. Oh, there we go. They're one of the premium cards, I think they call them. The animated ones. So I got a nice one here of something that we can use in an infiltrate deck. And Staff of Stories. At the start of your turn, draw a card. Okay. So it gives you 5 health. If you do get hit for that 5 health, it does disappear though. Let's see what else we've got in here. We have Karmic Guardian, Flying Lifesteal, and Endurance. That's not a bad thing to buff. I'm sure like putting a weapon on that would be quite good. A few other things down here, some commons. I won't spend too much time on the commons. I'm kind of having a bit of a look through these other ones. Brazen Daredevil, when it attacks, it deals damage equal to her attack to a random enemy. Again, put a weapon on her and she seems like she's a fun time. What else have we got in here? Moving on. Treachery. Deal 2 damage to enemy player, then you discard they discard a unit of your choice. Oh, it's a discard spells. Something you don't see in Hearthstone, something you definitely do see in Magic. This could be really interesting in a control build, I guess. And a way to counteract maybe control decks in a meta where that's rampant. Thunderstrike Dragon. Flying Echo. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think we got one of those in the campaign as well. What else have we got in here? We've got... There's that Karmic Guardian again. Tinkerer's Apprentice. Give a unit a weapon in your hand. +1/+1. Yeah, not that exciting. Not that exciting. Lightning Strike's a great card, but I'm sure I've got 5 of those already. What have we got? Steward of Prophecy. Silence a unit in the enemy player's hand. I wonder if you get to choose that. Whether you get to see information in your opponent's hand. Something we'll have to try out, I'm sure. Alright, what else have we got? Minotaur Ambassador. Play a Time Sigil and a Justice Sigil from your deck. 6 mana, 3/5. And play it too. It's not even like you're just putting it to hand. Quite interesting. Charge. Deals double damage to players. Okay, if you can get it, like, overwhelm on it, put a weapon on it. Seems pretty strong. Still no legendaries yet. That's fine. Another Elder's Feather, quite good. Annihilate, kill a unit with a single faction. says play a unit with cost 4 or less from the void, it gets charged and flying, then sacrifice it. So in those two colors, in blue and purple, I know that that's a theme, that the reanimation theme. The units get +1/+1 and Aegis. Oh, as a fast spell, that's really interesting. That seems quite good. On an attack, someone tries a lightning strike, one of your dudes. Oh, surprise, they're all bigger. Here is our first legendary. Very excited. Let's have a look. Flying Lifesteal Aegis, draw a torch. Torch is an awesome card. Alright, let's see what we got in here. We got, Curiox the Collector. Flying Endurance. And put a Dragon's Eye in your deck, which is 0 cost, draw 3 cards. Well, that seems pretty good. Not sure if I want to build a deck around it. We'll see. I do have a fair few yellow and blue cards from the looks of it so far. What else have we got? We've got Longhorn Sergeant. When you Warcry, yeah, lots of Warcry in those two colors as well. Alright, it's the rare Grim Stranger. When one or more strangers attack, deal that much damage to defending player. It seems like Strangers is the 5-color deck. Lots of ways to get multiple influence across those creatures. Feeding Time seems like real premium removal. Turning a unit into a pig, then killing it, means that you negate any... I've forgotten the death thing now. When they die. The burial. The entomb, sorry. Let's see. When she attacks, draw a card. When she blocks, you gain 4 life. 5 mana, 4/4. That seems pretty good for curve. And the ability that you get, drawing a card on her attack, means you're kind of replacing her. Now, I'm not really sure what these Emerald Monuments do. It's a power card, which comes in depleted. When you reach 5 power before playing this, it transforms to a new card. Okay, so you play it as a power, depleted power, but if you have more than 5, it becomes a 3/3 weapon. A Withering Witch. Oh, we've had her before. Let's move on. Still 49 to go. We have seen most of these before. Accelerated Evolution. Echo. Giving unit +1/+1 and your choice of flying or endurance. That seems pretty good as a 2/2, especially when you're getting 2/2 from that. It seems like evasive threats like flyers are quite a big deal in this game. Another False Prince. Let's see what we've got in here. All of your units get Killer, which is the exhausted 1 time to attack an enemy unit. So that could be pretty interesting for a turn. It's just attacking the creatures instead of attacking face. I've seen some of these before. Lightning Storm's awesome in a deck. I can see lots of decks playing 4 of those. Once per turn, you may sacrifice a unit to deal 2 damage to enemy player. So with, especially again in those 2 colors, I think that's 2 premium cards we've had in a row. I think they disenchant or break down into Shift Stone for more. Those 2 colors are really big on reanimation stuff as well, and sacrificing. Let's see what we've got in here. Another Thunderstrike Dragon. I don't think we need to spend too much time looking at these. We've seen them all. Let's keep looking. Burnout. Sacrifice a unit to do 5 damage to an enemy. That seems quite good. 4 mana though seems very... 4 power seems pretty full on. Impending Doom. At the end of your turn, he deals 1 damage to you for a 4 mana 5/5 flying. Not bad if you can find some lifelink along the way, I guess. That's where the benefit for that card is, I'm sure. Runic Revolver. Deal 2 damage to the enemy player. 2/2 quick draw. Good way to snipe off small enemy units and attack them directly. Flying Warcry 2. 5 mana 4/4. Seems pretty good for curve as well. So it should be for a rare. Oh, here we go. I was just about to say I haven't seen a legendary in a while. Slow. Sword of Icaria seems quite good as a 3/2 and Warcry. Let's see what our legendary is. Ooh, Nightmare Sight Unseen. All your units are unblockable. That seems pretty good as like a last-ditch overrun. I'm not really keen on playing those colors. It's quite a heavy influence cost. But yeah, nonetheless, happy to have a legendary in the deck. I'm sure we'll get to play it at some point. Alright. Another Ambassador. Now this is a really interesting card. Stun an enemy unit and keep it stunned as long as it's around. So for 3 mana, you get a 1/2 flyer, and you get to lock out their best thing as long as it's around. Hooroo. Hooroo Envoy. When a spell's played directly onto it, you draw a card. So you can buff him, things like Finest Hour, any kind of spells that target him would then replace the card. Which seems pretty good. Your units have Endurance. I found Endurance to be quite good. There's been some times where I've tried to like chill or enchant enemies, and you can't do that when they're endured, I guess. Power Surge. What's this? When played, spends all of the remaining power to increase its effect. So I guess as the game scales, so if you've got like 3 power, it becomes a 3/3. And then same thing as well, like at 9 power, you get a 9/9, and it's Overwhelm as well. So that seems like a pretty good deal there. What else have we got in here? So we got another AV Saw. Choose a weapon 3 or less from your deck and play it. That's pretty good. Instantly make him better. Just depends what kind of things you have in your deck. The Callus. Sacrifice all of your units, and it gets +2/+2 for each unit sacrificed. Not sure if I'm big on that. I'm sure there's probably a place for it somewhere. Another legendary here. Another monument. What have we got? The Last Word. Deadly quick draw. So you kill anything that you want. Pay 9 to make the last word's attacks deadly to players. Does that mean you just kill the player? I assume so. For 9 power and pay 9, I have to answer it pretty quickly. I only have to do 1 damage to you, but that seems like a very strong ability. There's probably a way to cheese that as well. Whoa, back into another legendary. Let's see what we've got. We've got Augmented Form. Give a unit +6/+6 as a fast spell. Just don't know if you want to put yourself out to that. Your opponent can always react by killing the creature. Still, again, legendary's legendary. Can't complain too much. Alright. Let's see. Nothing too interesting in here. Another General Izalio. I think that might even be 4 for us now. Between the one we got from the campaign and these. Another Ice Sprite, thank you. Another Accelerated Evolution. We're going to power through some of these now until we hit. Hey, that's what we're after. Let's see what we've got. A Black Sky Harbinger. Flying Lifesteal, and you summon, you deal 1 damage to each enemy. I wonder if you gain that life because it's Lifesteal. Interesting. I don't know how many X1s there are. I'm sure there's probably a few around in some builds, but that's a good answer to it. Feeding Time, Permafrost. What else have we got? Trail Stories. Reduce the cost of a spell in your hand by 1. No, thank you. I don't think that's great. Sure, it's like 0 cost, but you're like using a card to do that. Surely that can't be a great thing. There's still some uncommons here that I haven't seen before. When you play another unit with flying, it gets +1/+1. So I guess if you go wide with your flyers, I guess there's probably a deck there for it as well. Play a 5/5 beast if you can infiltrate. Seems pretty strong. And a Champion of Glory. Now that's the type of deck that I'm after. These red-green kind of aggressive, keep it low weapon type build is something that I'm really interested in playing after looking around. Sauropod, the Echo. I also just like playing the biggest dudes as fast as I can. So I'm trying to find things like, you know, this is quite good because you get 2 5/4s for the 1 card. Alright, what else have we got? Desert Marshal, Summon, Ambush, and Silence another unit. That'd be pretty handy. There's a premium copy too. That looks quite nice. A couple of premium cards in here. Lurking Sangua. Free if 2 units dealt damage to the enemy player this turn. Pretty good, but still just like a 4/2. Like it trades off very easily. It does have lifesteal, but let's see what we have in here. A couple more things we've seen before. Draw a random card from the enemy player's hand. Not bad if you know they've got good stuff. Choose a non-power card from the enemy's hand. Transform each copy in their hand, deck, and void into 1/1 frogs with Destiny. So they don't have to pay for it, but you can negate something from their hand, and then that means that every other copy becomes a 1/1. So you're effectively removing it from the game. It's always been a bit of a hit and miss ability in Magic anyway. Alright, what have we got here? Champion of Wisdom. Now, these champions seem to have a real big impact. If you can make that influence cost, you're in for a good time. That's a 6/6 flyer for 4. Even just a 6/6 for 4, if you can get it in. However, you are stuck with a 4-mana 3/3 if you can't make those requirements. So, you know, it seems alright. What else have we got in here? Bloodcaster. Pay 7 to draw a card from each player's deck. And I wonder if you can end up drawing power, because that would just be a huge blowout. That would be awful. But a 3-mana 2/5 seems like a decent enough blocker, and you can just pay for that ultimate later on. With kind of no real downside. Alright. Infiltrate, play 2 5/5 beasts. It's going to be hard to get a 3-mana 1/1 in on attacking on turn 4. But if you can clear away or make it unblockable, I mean, 3-mana 1/1 5/5 and a 5/5 seems pretty good. We're still seeing things we've seen before. When a player plays a stranger, including this one, they draw a card, which means it's for both players. So if you come up against a stranger matchup, that could be kind of interesting. Slash a bad time for people. Some more monuments, mithril maces. What have we got here? Another fortunate stranger, back to back. Okay, so at this point I'm starting to see playsets of some of the uncommons. When you play a relic, it gets +1/+1. There might be somewhere for that, but not in my decks probably. Some more banners. It's in here. All your units are invulnerable to damage this turn. Now we're going to see some more exciting cards here. What have we got? Strangers out flying. That could be interesting in a stranger deck. Alright, what have we got in here? Kill all units. That's pretty strong. Must be some kind of control deck where that's a thing. Seeing lots of Infernus. Free on your first turn, so you can just dome your opponent a 5 with charge, but then at the end of your turn you sacrifice it. So I guess you could bring it back, or there's some way to like sacrifice it on your turn for value maybe later on in the game. All your units get killer, we've seen that one before. We're on the home stretch now, we're trying to, hey, here's a legendary. Let's go, good feelings. Hey, another Harbinger here as well, so doubling up on that one. Not sure if we'll use them, but it might be handy to disenchant to find a deck that I do want to play. Alright. Strangers have Warcry. That could be pretty strong in that deck, actually. And another stranger when they attack. So maybe at some point I'll have to try a stranger deck. Just because. Deadly 1/1. Yep. Another stranger. All strangers get +1/+1. That's quite a good one. Alrighty. All units gain Warcry. And most of the decks, most of the good creatures in that deck that are red or red-green or red-yellow seem to have Warcry anyway. That's probably a waste. It's in the Staff of Stories again. What else do we have? Right, strangers have +1/+1. So there's a few little, like a stranger, the lords, I guess is what we call them in Magic, but a way to buff all of your other strangers. Just don't know if it's reliable enough. I mean, I guess it dies to a couple of lightning strikes before the lords come down, but when you play a unit, hero gets its battle skills. Hero gets +1/+1 for each of her battle skills. Okay, so you play her on 3, you play something that has a couple of skills on 4, a couple on 5, and she become like a 5/5. I don't know, deadly, quick draw, endurance, overwhelm. So a bunch of stuff. Flying, I guess. 2 mana 3/3 flying might be good, but you do need that other flyer. Not sure where all the flyers are and what colors. Seems like blue and maybe, well, that one was green. Maybe like blue-green. We've seen this one before as well. Come on, we're down to the last 11 now. We have, ooh, flying ambush. The ambush is usually better when you have like a decent power, but like a bigger toughness. You can flash it in the end of the turn though, so you can wait for your opponent to attack, let them exhaust themselves out, play something with charge maybe, and then you're in for a fair bit of damage without them realizing. Okay, lots of false princes we've had this time around. Ooh, I draw Steelfang Chakram from the Void. So when it dies, you get it straight back again. So it just makes all your dudes a decent threat. Dudes and dudettes. Alright, we've seen all these before. Ooh, play a 1/1 Deadly Spider. You play an additional spider for every 3 units you have in the Void. So I guess you can like fill your graveyard up quickly and then use that. Let's see what else we've got in here. Oh, another accelerated evolution. That might be a full playset now. I have to look into seeing if that actually is playable in any decks. Hopefully, because we've got a few of them now. I think this is quite good. Exhaust Stormcaller to deal 1 damage. Not sure if you can exhaust on their turn or whether you have to do it on your turn, because in Magic, pingers or like things that do 1 damage are quite good. Engage an enemy's spell and draw it. That's interesting, being able to steal. It also removes its influence requirements that's set up the top there as well, so that's interesting. Interesting way to negate a spell, but also get it for yourself in the process. What else have we got in here? Hooroo. I think that's something we want to play. Not really a lot of stuff in here that I'm keen to play, but it has given me a lot of play sets of uncommons and stuff to mess around with. The Rain of Frogs. Sure, there's something in there that you can use it for. Flying Quick Draw. Ooh, give a unit lifesteal and double damage. That's probably something I could use, I guess. Alright, what else have we got? Obliterate. That's a spell dealing 6 damage. Oh right, so if you kill like an X3, you do 3 damage to your opponent as well. So not bad. 2 packs, come on. A legendary somewhere, please. Let's keep looking. Draw a card of your choice from your deck. So you tutor up a card. Interesting. Come on, last pack, let's go. Oh, no such luck. Oh well. Let's see what we've got. A scouting party. Play 4 1/1 Yeti Spies, which are the infiltrate, draw a card. Not that exciting, I guess. Well, ended up with a whole stack of Shiftstone, and hopefully a bit of entertainment for you guys. I'll be back with some decks at some point, I guess. So I hope you enjoyed this pack opening. If you have, let me know what you thought of it, and if you would be interested in me doing it in the future. And also, leave a comment, subscribe, all that business. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the pack opening video we just did. If you want to see some more Eternal footage, it's right there. If you want to subscribe to our channel, it's down here. And if you want to follow us on social media, all the links are up the top there. Like us, subscribe to us, tell your friends, enjoy.